Juventus are increasingly confident that they'll be able to swap Dusan Vlahovic for Romelu Lukaku plus 40 million euros. But Gab, this whole affair seems a bit odd to me.
Everything is odd about this, about how we haven't heard from Lukaku yet, about how he just stopped answering his phone calls from Inter, phone calls from Rock Nation, his agents. Juve fans not happy about this. It seems to be Max Allegri seems to be the only person who wants this to happen, who wants Lukaku to come on board. For Chelsea, Vlahovic, rough season last year, but there's a great player in there. Sticking with Chelsea, Moises Caicedo missed Brighton's game against Rayo Vallecano, the mighty Rayo Vallecano to you, and remains a major target in midfield. But some are suggesting that maybe Tyler Adams at 20 million is a cheap and cheerful alternative if they can't get Caicedo.
It's what a world we live in, whereby 20 million is now cheap. It's a cheap alternative. I understand where people are coming from. I think Adams in the Premier League hasn't really done well enough to get people excited as such, even though I think he can do a good job for Chelsea. And the Caicedo one, I feel like it's been going on for so long that's the bar, that's the standard. If they don't get that across the line, then bringing Adams, I don't think
we have to bring somebody in, right? They need a defensive midfielder, right? Adams can do the job. Maybe Adams surrounded by better players and not having three managers in one season, although mind you, that was Chelsea last year. In certain situations, maybe that can do the trick. They need another body in there. And for me, look, I love Caicedo, but if he's going to cost 100 million, if he means giving up Levi Colwill, you don't want to do that. No, you don't do it.
You don't want to do that. But then also you can picture the headline. It's like Tyler Adams signs for Chelsea for £20 million and signs a 9-year deal. Doesn't necessarily fill you with.
Maybe leave out the 9-year deal.
Yeah, but that seems to be the standard now. But Mickey van der Ven, he's on the verge of signing for Tottenham from Wolfsburg in a £40 million move. Gab, what are your thoughts?
I think it goes up to 40 million. I think there's bonuses. And that was euros. I think it's actually a little bit less. Although mind you, I wrote the script, so I don't mind.
Listen, you lead the way.
I think it gives you a hint of the kind of players that he wants at the back. I think he's identified that obviously as an area where they need to improve. He's 22, he's right age, right profile. Mo Salah's agent, Rami Abbas, says he turned down offers from El Ittihad, adding that if he wanted to move, he wouldn't have signed a new deal last year. Good news for Liverpool, right? And also, by the way, very grown up, because Sadio Mane signed a new deal with Bayern last year, and he ended up moving. So,
yeah, I think I'll be more interested to see people signing new deals this summer or this year, given the fact that the Saudi Pro League is now a bigger part of the conversation, whereas a year ago I don't think it was. But it does sound like it's good news for Liverpool. It's very much part of that culture. But yeah, I'm not.
You do wonder though, is there a number at which Jurgen Klopp says, "Yeah, Mo, I love you," but because when
everyone
you look
has
at
a number,
what
everyone has a number.
Well, I'm looking. I mean, Luis Diaz, Jota, Darwin,
Gakpo, yeah.
Gakpo. I mean, they have numbers there, right? And he is a year older, and he is the highest earner, right?
Everyone's got a number. Everyone has a number, whether it's players or whether it's even clubs thinking this is the value of said individual. If that number dropped, I think it's going to be hard for any team to say no.
No, but I also think Salah personally feels, you know what? Saudi will still be there next year or the year after that.
I can neither confirm nor deny that. I totally agree with you. Inter finally have their goalkeeper, and it's Jan Sommer. Gab, does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense because obviously, they reached the Champions League final last year. They want to be competitive. He's obviously not a long-term signing or something who's going to have resale value, but I thought he did fine when he went to Bayern. He's not costing you a lot of money. He's 34, something like that. He'll be good for a couple seasons, and that's fine. Joao Felix has been linked with a move to Al Hilal. Nedum, this feels inevitable to me that he will not be an Atletico Madrid player next year.
Yeah, I think the Atletico Madrid part is definitely true. If you say you want to move to Barca whilst you're at a club, it's probably not best to say it at Atleti, but yeah, he definitely needs to go somewhere. The Al Hilal part of it, I don't know. How many clubs has he been linked with? I'm not sure. It'd be a shame if he feels like that's his only option at this time. But sometimes if you make your bed, this is the way it's going to be. What do you think?
When he came over, notwithstanding he got sent off in his first game for Chelsea, there's a lot of people who said, look, he looks so good. He looks so good. I think he did show flashes. There's flashes in there. I think a lot of people in the game have decided that for all his ability, whether it's attitude, personality, whatever, he's not able to show it consistently. And they showcased him in the Premier League at Chelsea, and Chelsea didn't want to keep him. So for me, and it's too easy now saying, oh, well, he's George Mendes guy, just send him to Wolves. No, I think that ship has probably sailed at this stage too. So I don't know. I think it would be a mistake for him. I think he needs to take a step back. I think Mendes needs to advise him and say, you know what? If we have to take less money, let's take less money. You're still young enough. Was he 24, something like that? You're still young enough. You have a career about you. You've got more ability than all but maybe 10, 15 players in the world. Let's get you the best environment for you to show it. And it's not going to be Chelsea with 3 different players. It's not going to be Al Ittihad where nobody sees you. Just go to where you're comfortable. And it's obviously not Atletico Madrid.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.